Hey guys, it's Flen. Today we're going to be making an Oreo chocolate cake. This is a really simple and delicious cake. The cake layer is super moist and delicious to make with a really kicky Oreo flavor. And the outside frosting is whipped cream frosting with Oreo crumbs. Then the decoration is totally up to you. The cake and the whipped cream are super delicious. The cake is so moist and the whipped cream is so amazingly smooth. So let's get on to making the cake, but first let's take a look at the ingredients we'll need for this recipe. Into a large mixing bowl, let's mix up all the dry ingredients. For that, I've taken flour, sugar, cocoa powder, salt, baking powder, and baking soda. And finally, into this, add in Oreo crumbs. Now just mix it all up until it's well combined. Next, into it we can pour in the wet ingredients. For that, crack in eggs, pour in oil. I'm just using normal vegetable oil. Also pour in buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can just pour in a mixture of vinegar and milk. So you'll get buttermilk. Then here I have hot water. It's not boiling hot, but it's pretty hot. Into it, let's add in some coffee, mix it up, and then we can pour that into the dry ingredients. After pouring that in, mix it all up together to a nice cake batter. And here the cake batter is ready, and you can see that it's not so smooth, fine, and it has a little bit of crumbs in it. That's because of the Oreos. That's alright. The Oreo crumbs are definitely going to be there in the cake batter. Let's pour it into 2 baking pans. Here I've taken 2 6-inch baking pans lined with parchment paper. Pour it in equally, tap it quite a few times, and then we can keep this into a preheated oven for baking. Insert a skewer and check if it comes out clean, then you know that the cake is baked. We can keep this into the oven. Take it out and let it cool completely before you take it out of the pan. Here I've taken it out of the oven. I'm going to let it cool completely. After cooling it in the pan itself for around 30 minutes, I'm going to take it out. Just run a knife along the side so it's easier. Then take the cake out. Also remove the parchment paper and the tin from the bottom. Now I'm going to be cutting this cake into 2 different layers. So for that, I'm going to flatten out the top a little bit and then cut it into 2 layers. Next, I've also made the whipping cream. Here I've whipped up some cream with a little bit of cocoa powder and then adding Oreo crumbs. And now the whipped cream is also ready. All you have to do is assemble the cake. For that, here I've taken a turntable with a cake board on top. Keep your first layer of cake and brush it with some warm milk. The milk is going to give the cake a more of an Oreo taste. If you want, you can go ahead and use sugar syrup. Then spread a layer of the whipped cream, putting some Oreo crumbs on top of it, then keeping the next layer of cake and continuing the same thing. Just have to keep doing the same thing until all 4 of your layers are done. Keep the cake, brush it with sugar syrup, put the whipped cream, then sprinkle some Oreo crumbs. And here I've kept the fourth and final layer of cake, brush it with sugar syrup, and then we can frost the cake. So while frosting this cake, you don't need to do a crumb coat because we've already added in some crumbs in the whipped cream, and the whipped cream itself is a little crumbly, so it's going to be a very crumb coated cake. We're obviously going to be seeing the crumbs and the unevens in this cake. That's how I'm going to be decorating the cake today, but if you want a very smooth layer, then you can just avoid the crumbs in the whipped cream. Also, just to decorate it, I'm going to put a very thin layer of crumbs on the bottom. This is totally up to you, it's just the decorating part, which is totally up to you. It's all according to your wish. Decorate the cake however you want. Here I have some chocolate melted into a piping bag, just snipping off the end and doing a drip along the sides. Again, this is optional. If you want, you can decorate it however you want. I'm just dripping it onto the sides like that. Then piping some dollops on top with a Wilton 2D piping tip. Just gonna put a few random decorations here and there. It's totally up to you how you want to decorate it. Then sticking half Oreos in between. And there, the Oreo chocolate cake is ready. I hope everybody tries this recipe out. You can see that it's a very beautiful cake, decorated the way you want. Now I'm going to cut into this cake and show you how the inside looks. It's a really soft and moist cake in the inside with the crumbly whipped cream on the outside. When you cut it itself, you'll understand that the cake is super soft. Also, the inside is very chocolatey and the Oreo crumbs give it an extra flavor. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Also ring that notification bell so that you get notifications every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching. Love cooking. Bye bye.